Welcome to day 1021 of our Deso/Focus journey. Uh, Yesterday was a big day. Focus token launched. The reservation period has opened up, and those who reserve Focus token in this first week will get a 100% bonus. That means if you reserve $100 worth of Focus token, you're going to get $100 in locked Focus token on top of the $100 in unlocked
Or
Focus token.
or if you reserve $100 million, you'll get $200 million focus token.
Yeah,
No,
you never know.
so they've raised about $19 million as of us recording this at 9:06 a.m. Eastern time. 19 million in less than 24 hours. It's been about 22 hours. That's really impressive. I didn't expect it to be this high this quick. Remember the bonus, the 100% bonus lasts another 6 days and 2 hours. Uh, it was the first week, and then it's going to gradually drop off, I think 2.5% every week thereafter. Um, Doing really well. I didn't think 19 million would have been hit this soon. I would have said maybe 10. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, how high do you think it's going to get before the Focus app launches?
So I mean, we don't know the exact date of the Focus app. I would be surprised if it doesn't eclipse 60 or 70 million. I do think that a lot of people probably put money in from the initial start. I think the first day is going to definitely be the biggest day. It could get up to 100 million. I think depending on if they can attract some big time investors or not. I don't know how easy that'll be. I think that this first wave is all going to be mostly DeSo users, people that are just rolling their DeSo over to the Focus coin. I would guess that was probably 90% were DeSo deposits. But yeah, I think if it got to 100 million, I wouldn't be surprised. I think more likely it might be like 60 or 70 million.
Yeah, so we do want to get into explaining some things that people have been asking in the Telegram chat and on Diamond app, because I know is some confusion about some of the tokenomics of Focus. But I do believe that 100 million would be a milestone. I think, if we can reach 100 million, I think that's going to be huge. And if DISA does the correct marketing, if they're able to market this thing pretty good before the end of the first quarter, I think it's possible. Like you said, probable, I don't know. It's really hard to tell at this point, but I think it definitely is possible.
So just cutting it. So 100 million. If they raise 100 million, that would put the Focus Coins, I guess, eventual market cap at at around 300 and maybe $50 million or so. Because remember, you're going to have the bonus coins, you're going to have the coins that people earn for incentives on the Focus app, and then you're going to have those founder coins, which represent, I think, like 40%. So it would be about 350 million. That's not really that high. Like, so consider this: Truth Social, Trump's network, which is floundering right now. The SPAC, the special purpose acquisition vehicle that has been used to raise money here, that SPAC is valued at $650 million. I would argue that even out of the gate, Focus with the tech behind it and the innovativeness of it probably should attract more dollars in market cap than Truth Social should. That's in my opinion. Facebook, of course, nearly $1 billion. So I mean that's like that's like 3,000x of where it would be if Focus uh raised 300, or I mean the market cap was
Well,
350
I mean,
million.
Twitter sold for $44 billion, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I mean, so there, as an investor, like if you're looking at Focus and think it's going to work out pretty well and be this thing that's going to generate a lot of hype and a lot of speculation, I think looking at it at a 1 to 2 to 3 billion dollar market cap eventually in the next year or so isn't out of the question. We see companies that garner a 1 billion dollar market cap all the time, which uh, probably don't deserve them. So consider that. I think obviously this is not investment advice. Anything can happen.
yeah, I was going to say the same thing. So, there's been a lot of questions I noticed on the Focus Telegram group as well as on Diamond app about the tokenomics and how the bonus tokens work. So I just want to kind of explain that process. So if you reserve, let's say, $100 in focus token, you're going to get $100 in focus token in DSO. So you're first transferring that $100 into DSO, and that DSO is buying the focus token. You're going to get the $100 in focus token plus $100 in locked focus token. The unlocked focus token is going to be available. You can get a refund for that whenever you want before the launch of the app, or you can sell it at least within the first year on the open fund after the app launches, but potentially even up to 2 years after that for your full refund. The unlocked tokens, now they're going to be locked for a 4 year period. And then after that 4 year period, there's going to be a linear vesting period. So what does the linear vesting period mean? It means that after that 4 years, those tokens will gradually become unlocked over a 1 year period. So we don't know if it's a daily, weekly, or monthly vesting schedule, but let's say it's daily, and let's say just for ease of argument or ease of explanation, you have 365 focus tokens. Now, locked, 365 locked focus tokens, because there's 365 days in a year. I'm just using this as an example. If it's a daily
What
vesting
if it's a
period,
leap year?
if it's a daily vesting schedule over that 1 year, it would mean that you would get one token per day, but it could be weekly, so it might be seven per week, or it could be monthly and it would be 12 or it would be, yeah, 12. No, what am I saying? 30 per month. So 30, 31 per month, whatever they use. So that's how that would work. The other question is about the tokenomics. What are some of the questions about tokenomics, Brian, that people have been having?
So I
I
think that a
think
lot of
that
people,
the open fund, how it's going to trade on open fund, right? With the floor bid. The floor bids bring a lot of confusion. How can people are saying, how can Focus allow me to sell on open fund a year after the app launches for the same price that I paid? And not just a year, it could go 2 years depending on other factors, but guaranteed for a year. How can I get my money back on open fund after the app launches? It seems
yeah,
like too
it's
good to be true, right?
yeah. So basically, how it works is that Focus will take all the money they raise, all the DSO they raise, and they're going to use that once the app launches to put a bid in for the exact amount that they sold for the exact price that they sold. So that gives everybody an opportunity to sell their tokens if they want in that year. And the reason it's a year is because after a year, the incentive tokens begin to unlock. So technically, people are going to be earning these focus tokens by posting on the app, by referring people, etc. And as that year goes by, those tokens they earn will be unlocked. So a year and 1 second, the first earned incentive tokens will unlock so they can sell it. So that will possibly eat into that floor bid, meaning that if everybody who bought Focus decided to dump their Focus on that 1 year anniversary, then it could drop below that price. But the other thing is there going to be demand? People might be like, oh, wow, this is really cool. Focus is working out. I'm going to place a bid higher than that floor bid. So instead of 0.001, I'm going to post a bid at 0.0015. So then that has adds supply, which could help the adds, I'm sorry, it adds demand, which could eat into the supply that people are dumping, which means that you might have much longer than a year to
And
actually
I
sell at that
I
floor.
think we need to clarify. So when we say you can get your money back in that first year, you're getting your DSO back. So it's not in US dollars, it's denominated in DSO. So if DSO value goes up, you'll actually make money. If DSO value goes down, you could potentially lose money. So if you're putting US dollars in, remember that's being transferred into DSO, and then DSO is being used to buy the Focus token. So
Yeah,
you're
I
going to
I,
get
I
your
think
DSO back.
in our heads, we've held DSO for so long. We've had DSO for 3 years. Uh, we're just looking at it in terms of DSO. But yeah, if you're just getting in now, you're buying DSO with Ethereum or USDC, and then you're using that to buy Focus. Remember, it is denominated in DSO, so Deso could plunge tomorrow and you'll lose the dollar denominated
So
value.
I want to get back to the tokenomics of the floor bid and stuff. So if somebody buys on open fund after the app launches at the floor bid, they're going to, I mean, not the floor. So if somebody sells at the floor bid on open fund, they're going to get their refund in DSO basically. And that focus token is actually burned. So it's going to be removed from the entire supply of focus. So that benefits other holders of focus tokens when people do sell at that floor bid. But also, the automatic market maker is going to be placing sell orders as well. And those sell orders, I believe, are going to be 5% higher than the floor bid. So people are going to be able to buy as well against the market maker. And these are going to be an allocated amount of tokens that the market maker is going to get upon the launch. And if if these if these tokens are actually sold at this sell price, those tokens are recycled back into the market maker's bid price. So they'll just place bids right under that sell price. So it creates this liquidity where people are going to be able to buy and sell. Now, somebody else asked me, what happens if Focus token is listed on a CEX before uh, or within that first year. And if that happens, there'll just be another market on that CEX, but arbitrage should bring them in line. So I would imagine that, even though there's going to be this floor bid on open fund in the DESO DEX. So it would be hard to imagine that price falling below that floor on a CEX, because if it did, people would just buy it up and sell it on open fund.
It's really going to be an interesting dynamic because let's fast forward a year from now, when some of the incentive coins will start unlocking. Now, people are going to think, oh, everybody's just going to dump their coins. But the way that they're going about this, putting that floor in, it has a tremendous amount of buying power and demand. So you have people coming in and maybe selling it, but then you have people wanting to buy it right away. It's going to be really interesting, and I would be shocked to see the price uh, go under that floor bid for probably a good 2 years, just because of that. Unless they pull the floor out, which is when? Do you recall when they said that, how long that floor will
Well,
actually
well,
be in
they
there
said
for?
hopefully for 2 years, but it's guaranteed for that 1 year. But their goal is 2 years. That's what they're hoping for. It could even be longer than 2 years, but right now their goal is for that 2 year period. I, I think it to a lot of people it seems too good to be true. Like, how can I get my money back in a year after it begins trading? And it's because all that money that's going into buying it is going into back it on the market as well. So that's how.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a greedy person is running Focus trying to profit, right? It's just trying to keep the ecosystem steady while also maintaining the interest of the users and investors. Because if the Focus coin remains decently high, then there's incentive for people to interact on the platform because there are those rewards and there's incentive to refer other people. So I don't think it's too good to be true. It's just tokenomics at work. I think a smart way of dealing with tokenomics. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see how much they raise and then how many people try to sell off what they bought and just hold the bonus tokens. But remember, if they sell them off, those tokens are actually burned, which helps everybody else who holds them.
If
So
they
it's
sell
an
at the floor
interesting
at the floor
concept.
price, if they're sold at the floor price, they're
Right.
burned. So the other thing is people are going to be like, but isn't it just going to be massively sold off once these tokens begin unlocking, whether they're incentive tokens or the bonus tokens? Won't it just be massively sold off and then the price will plummet and then people will exit DSO as well and the price of DSO will plummet? That's an argument to be made. But the other argument is that if Focus grows like the developers hope it will grow, that people will be coming onto the platform to subscribe to some of their favorite creators, to subscribe maybe to people who move over here from OnlyFans or from X or from Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. They want to subscribe to these people. They're going to have to subscribe using Focus tokens. And in order to do that, you're going to need to buy Focus tokens with DSO. So that would create a demand for the Focus token. So
Well, and you're also forgetting the fact that wallet balance is going to play into the algorithm, I believe. I believe that the
Yes.
balance of a user's wallet will actually help their posts and their replies to posts move up. Because they look at it as somebody that has a higher balance. Obviously, they're not a bot, and they're more integral to the platform. That they're more important to the platform. And I guess that could be argued, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, so maintaining a high wallet balance will give you more clout on the Focus app. So that gives you incentive to hold Focus rather than cash out Focus when you earn it. It's going to add to your presence on the platform and help you become a bigger influence on the Focus platform. So there's a lot of incentive to either buy or hold Focus token. And of course, this is definitely not investment advice. For all we know, Focus could be a complete failure and not succeed, right? So it's just a theory. It's just a theory. It's what the developers are hoping will happen. And I think if they do their marketing correctly, and if, the Focus app can catch on among some big influencers, and there's plenty of incentives for big influencers to join, I think it could be a success.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. This next year is going to be a lot of fun. I think that probably the second quarter, the end of the first quarter, we'll see the app launch, and from there, I think it's going to be fun to watch because the referral incentives and the gamification of it all, I think, will attract a lot of crypto people for sure. Hopefully, some people from outside of crypto.
So there is a potential X Twitter X space today about Deso and Focus that Natter and some of the core team members will be partaking in. It's not confirmed yet, but it has been scheduled. So I'm assuming it's going to take place at 3 p.m. Eastern time today. So if you can make it there, definitely check that out at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Natter and some of the core team will be answering questions that you have about Focus, and we'll be talking about their vision for the app and for DSO in general.
Yep. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I think that's all we have to say today. Again, see you in the X space if it does take place at 3 p.m. Eastern time today. Otherwise, see you in the on Diamond app and see you in the Focus Telegram. Have a great day.